Hi everyone, this is Ashish Kyal here. Welcome again to Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul learning series by wavestrategy.com. And what a day it had been. Nifty had been all over the places, and I'm sure you might be looking at it with an open eye कि ये ऊपर जाएगा कि नीचे जाएगा, and you are wondering what is the budget going to be, and post the budget what happened, and lot of volatility. So it was very well expected. In the morning research report which I published, I clearly mentioned that it's going to be a volatile day, obviously, given the event, and at least a 500-point move between the lows and the highs is what I clearly mentioned. And the look at the movement, the low made by Nifty. Do you remember? Can you someone tell me what is the low made by Nifty? And exactly where is the high that is being touched? So what is the distance between the lows and the highs? Let me just open up the chart also parallelly, and it's going to be fabulous, right? A fantastic day. So low made by Nifty was at 17,234. And where was the high made by Nifty? Can someone tell me what is the exact high? And what is the distance that you see between the lows and the highs? Is it nearly around 500 points? Can you check that? So, which I mentioned in the morning research precisely, and based on that's based on the experience, right? So the low for Nifty had been at 17,244 is what I see as the low, and 17,622. So the distance between the lows and the highs is fantastic. So we can clearly see that that's how it has moved, and it has started wave E. Are there any Master of Waves participants here? For them, I'm again going to open up the chart which we talked about during the program on Master of Waves on 15th of January. 15th, 16th was the program. I'm going to open that up for you all, and you will be amazed to see how precisely it has worked out. So let me very quickly share across my screen, and then we will go on and check what the markets are looking at from here on. Also, a week back, I published a research on what should be done on market. In fact, yesterday's video, anyone checked yesterday's video where I talked about how the Nifty is going to behave? It is looking bullish. The market were bullish even before the market actually came down today post the budget. So the market started on a positive note. I mentioned about time. It went down and then it sharply bounced back higher. In fact, I mentioned about the time also. So post the move, there was a dip and then the bounce back on the upside. It is moving like a classic lock-in step as per time. You know, the time and the wave is simply fabulous. I can see Yogesh Saraf has booked a profit of 1,58,000 in Nifty futures. Fantastic, Yogesh. That's a huge profit booking that you did, and it's pleasure to have you as a part of our Gurukul. It's always pleasure to have, you know, people are capitalizing on that, and it's fantastic to have you as a part of our Gurukul. So let me just share across what I have been tweeting across, and let's look at the market and what it has been doing. Let me just go back to that screen, which I want to share it across with each one of you, where I published a research article. So I'm just going to share that very quickly, not spending much time. So अगर आप यहाँ पर जाएंगे, you can clearly see there is an article section, and over here, if you click on the article, it will open up budget 2022 trade setup on Nifty. So there is a video in which I've explained what should be the trade setup, and it has done exactly that way. I'm going to go this chart. So this is the chart I've been showing for past so many days. Okay, ये chart publish हुआ था 16th of January. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Is it only me who is excited seeing market doing precisely what you expect, or is it everyone else as well? तो देखिए यहाँ पर निफ्टी का 16th of Jan में, okay, Master of Waves का जो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम था हमारा, in that we published a path. You know, Nifty came down from there a much lower compared to there. It came down and is now bouncing back. In fact, let me go down further. This is available on the website also, and I have talked about a lunar cycle. Do you remember? I've been talking about 1st of February being an Amavasya, being a lunar cycle date. We should see an up move, and look at this path which I have shown on Nifty about just here. This is where the wave D completed, and we are right now at this juncture. Can you see that? It has worked out so damn well with respect to the lunar cycles comparatively, along with the wave theory. A done, B done, C done, and now D done, and we are heading higher. And that is super. And लोग बजट देख के ट्रेड ले रहे, बजट देख के अगर आपने ट्रेड लिया होता तो प्रॉफिट होने के चांसेस बहुत कम थे, बिकॉज बजट के बाद तो मार्केट नीचे आया इनफैक्ट, एंड देन इट स्टार्टेड रैलिंग. But you know what will be the headlines tomorrow in the morning? In newspaper, you are going to see big bang budget, reformist budget, and you can clearly see market cheering up, the street cheering up the budget. That's the point they are going to talk about tomorrow morning. But सोचो तो सही, निफ्टी बजट के पहले ही जिधर था वहीं पे अभी भी क्लोज हुआ. So did really budget do anything? It just resulted into volatility, sharp down move, sharp up move, and nothing changed. But if you know a lunar cycle, if you know the time cycle, and if you in fact would have followed the path जो मैंने डिस्कस किया था 15 दिन पहले, you would have been placed on the right side of the trend. If you would have followed the path which I discussed again on 25th of Jan, you would have been on the right side of the trend. So it has been absolutely the way it was supposed to be moving, and that's what we can clearly see from this chart. Now ये देखने के बाद में what I want to also do is let's go on the chart right now and see what is Nifty doing and what did it do. So यहाँ पर चलते हैं. Let me just share across the screen of the Nifty chart. Okay, you can clearly see at this point of time यहाँ पर, so we can see that. So we have been placed on the long side already since yesterday, and markets really performed precisely the way we expected. We even generated a buy call yesterday itself in the morning, booked profits, and it worked out brilliantly. So यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे, nothing changed. The movement of this is precisely as per the pattern that we discussed about. So this was the line that we have shown, this is the line that we have shown, this was wave A, wave B, wave C, and this started D and E complete. In fact, D के अंदर अगर हम जाएंगे on a 15-minute chart, okay, let's just go there. And I've talked about how the wave D is going to behave. It formed a triangle, in fact, within this D. So this was D leg. अगर आपको ध्यान होगा, you can clearly see here, यहाँ से this was C, this is D, and in fact within this D leg also we have talked about how it will behave up down kind of a move, and then the uptrend should resume. This is what the path shown is, and this is a little deviation from this side, but perfect चला है, वैसा ही है. So precisely the way we expected the markets behaved. This was a huge dip that you saw, so this was sufficient enough for anyone's long position to get triggered. The stop loss would have got triggered. There is no second thought about it. If you had stop loss in place, you know, many people trade without stop loss, but if you had stop loss in place, it would have been triggered unless you are trading positionally with like more than 300 points away. Because ये जो dip था from the highs of the day, which was this level, from around 17,600, you saw a push on the downside, which is around 17,240 odd levels. So this was a push of more than 350 points. Am I audible to everyone? Is it clear? So this was a push of more than 350 points that we saw on the market on the downside on an intraday basis. So that is fine. You mean you should be expecting this is how market will behave on an eventful day. But at the end of the day, nothing changed. Okay. At the end of the day, we closed where we opened and we touched the high even before the budget. So kuch hua hi nahi. This was just a temporary volatility. So as I say, this volatility is only because of event. The trend did not change. So this volatility you can easily expect in the market, which does not change the trend. Okay. Now also there was a time which is talked about yesterday in my webinar. If you go back and refer that, I've talked how the strategy should be played out and why we have been bullish all the way in the budget also. So यहाँ से अभी क्या expect करना है? That is what is going to be important as a path ahead from here on. यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे, the most important aspect, if you are looking at a cycle, okay, that is what I am saying, because that works like magic. So there is a time, if you apply those time cycles, you can actually time the turn very, very accurately, and it works brilliantly. That's how you should be looking at timing the market, because without timing the market, you can't really trade the market. So if you are looking at, let's put a lunar cycle first. Okay, let me just go back on a daily time frame and put a lunar cycle. Let's see if that is playing out extremely well. So I'm going to put a lunar cycle here. I'm just going to zoom in, and the moon phases. Do you remember I talked how to put a moon phases on the chart? And we are going to do that. We are going to come here, look at the moon phases on the chart. And as I said, okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing, but today is an Amavasya for sure. So we can clearly see this is a new moon day. So ये थोड़े time के बाद शायद plot होगा. So this is a new moon day, okay, which is an Amavasya, which resulting into an upward thrust. That's what has happened on most of the occasion. यहाँ से, and on the past. So I'm not getting into the integrities of this, because ये हमने already discussed किया हुआ है. And this is what has happened. Even last Friday webinar, I talked about how the market is going to show an upward thrust from here on. So यहाँ पर अगर अभी दूसरा एक cycle अगर हम apply करेंगे, because we want to see how prices can behave basis of a very classic cycle, because unless you know how to apply time, how to time this market, you will not be able to trade well. I've been telling this since day one. Only if you are able to time the market extremely well, you will be able to trade correctly. And that is very important, because अगर आपने 1 घंटा plus minus भी किया होता, you wouldn't have been able to make money in today's market, given the volatility and given. So दो चीज अगर आप combine करें, which is wave theory and time cycles, you will be able to trade very, very well. So यहाँ पर what I want to ask you is one more thing. Do you still feel that the market is moving because of the event? Given the path that we have been showing since so long, do you still think the market is moving because of the movement, because of the event, or you think it is doing what it has to anyways do? Agar market negative close hota na, so people would have talked about how this is not helping, or whatever, the spending, the fiscal deficit, and all of those things would have come into play if it would have been negative. But if the market is positive, the news will accordingly change. So that is very, very important. So I'm going to come back to the time here, and I'm going to show across a time zone which I have shown earlier. So let me just do that. Okay, Sudipto is just saying, because of Ashish sir, no, please, I don't do anything. I don't move the market. I just have a plan, a strategy on an event, and I just trade that. I don't care what the event is going to come, because we don't know that, right? We just want to do it. So यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे, look at this overall. Just a second, let me just share it across clearly. This is one of the time cycle which I have been following, which has been working extremely well. One of the cycles, I'm just sharing it across with you all. Over here, you can clearly see the low being formed around this zone, and exactly from that zone there was a gap up, and market went sideways and continued to rally. So this was the level where you should have considered entering by looking at the entire cyclicality. This is the 15-minute chart, and I'm showing you one of the cycles, but you should know how to apply this correctly. You should know how to do this. There are different time cycles that you can apply on the chart. So abhi ke market mein, let me just share the screen. The overall trend had been on the upside. Now if I go to another chart, which is a fifth, so I'm going to switch back between two different time cycles. यहाँ पर Amavasya or a new moon is upward thrust. The short-term 15-minute cycle is an upward thrust, and this is what we are expecting as a pullback right now. Okay, now this is a pullback. This is not a start of a new trend. This is what I am telling you. It's a pullback, because we are expecting that it can fizzle out somewhere around this zone. What is the minimum criteria for a triangle pattern? Can someone tell me? So what is the minimum criteria for a triangle pattern? Minimum कितना retracement करना चाहिए? Each leg of the triangle should retrace 50%, not more than 50%. Bang on, Kenil, Chaitanya, Sudipto. So each leg of the triangle should not retrace less than 50%. And we can clearly see, okay, let me just clear off the screen. Today's up move has now touched 50% of the fall. Today's up move has now touched 50% of the fall, which is the minimum criteria met for a triangle pattern completion. ये हो चुका है, ठीक है. अब यहां से can it go to 61.8 or 78.6? Yes, allowed. What can it not do? It cannot cross the high which is made here, which is the high of 18,350. Exactly, Kennel. So it should not cross 18,350 for it to be a valid triangle pattern. If it crosses, then we will see what is the pattern forming, maybe a diametric or something else. But preferred scenario suggests what is the path from here on. How do we look at this path now? So the preferred scenario suggests that the overall undertone is bullish. Short term, you need to look for buy, but then this is a 55-day cycle also, so which is in the sell mode. So I'm going to tell you different cycles now. A 55-day is in sell mode, lunar cycle is in buy mode, and 15-minute cycle is also for now in buy mode. So this cycle is going to put a pressure only and only once we see close below the candle low. Okay, that's the confirmation. So ye candle ka low to anyways bahut dur hai, so you have to wait. So what will market do now? It will might be trying to drift now. Okay, develop some kind of a pattern, drifting pattern. And once this drift is over, okay, I'm again showing you the wave pattern with the cycle. Once this drift is over, somewhere around here, wherever, or maybe a higher, we don't know that yet, right? We have to wait. So the drift has to happen. Once that pattern, maybe we will see a wedge pattern, we will see divergence, whatever we want to see. Market ko jo karna hai wo karega. We will just see it. Once that happens and we see a reversal, that will be a classic indication of complete euphoria ending. And once we see a faster retracement now below 16,830, now you might say वो तो बहुत दूर level है. अरे भाई वो 4 दिन पहले का ही level था. Okay, 16,830 was not far away. It was the level you saw just 4 days back. Look at it. Look at the markets. It can go crazy, right? So once this happens, traders can possibly short or wait for confirmation. Once the confirmation happens, then every pullback sell. Okay, so E leg can be faster than D, possibly. Ideally, it should be slower. But looking at C, looking at D, and now looking at the E leg, I mean, I'm not ruling out it should take 50% of the time also. So this C D leg, जो यहाँ से यहाँ शुरू हुआ, यहाँ complete हुआ, कितना candle लगा? Let's count the candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. Against these 6 candles, we have taken how much time? 1, 2, 3. We have taken 50% of the time already. Okay, so if that is the case, then we are going to form a topping pattern now. Imagine I've been talking bullish, bullish, and bullish right from this level. I've been talking about market should come down here. I've been talking that the market should drift higher now, and then it should start coming down. So far, जो prediction हमने 15th Jan को किया था, there is nothing that has not happened. Okay, Dow Jones has topped out, yes, because there is a faster retracement already. Dow Jones is showing a temporary pullback. Looks like we might be, this is the path that we might follow. So ये एक path है that is looking possible. I'm going to take a snapshot of this path. We are going to save that, but this is an expectation. Remember this very clearly. ये हमारा expectation है, and we need to measure whether the market has to confirm. Okay, is FLD and time cycle explained in detail in the book? No, Anirudh. if time cycle is explained in detail, FLD and those concepts we will be doing in the Master of Cycles program, which is happening on 19th and 20th of Feb. So that is going to be covering in that program. Is it clear? So from here on, you will still be looking for buying opportunity as of now, given that we have still formed a very long legged candle. It's not a doji, but it's a long lower shadow candle, and this candle is therefore very very important. जो भी event पे high or low बनता है, that is crucial. So if tomorrow we manage to close an hourly candle above this high, the high is 17622. अगर कल hourly candle 17622 के ऊपर होता है, then we can say that the uptrend will resume and continue possibly towards 17,800 levels. This is clearly mentioned in the morning research also, which has worked out exactly. And for the low here, the low made on an event day, which is 17,244, is going to be the important low which you have to keep a watch on. अगर ये low break हो गया, that will be the first sign of weakness, and eventually when the low breaks here, that will confirm that the whatever the trend which started way back is topping out now. So you need to understand that very very clearly and look at that with great, you know, closely. So ऐसा नहीं, you can't be complacent over here. You need to look at it very clearly and very closely. Am I being clear on what to do? So is it not amazing to see how the markets have behaving, how it has been showing all the way, and it is simply fantastic. So many people are just looking at the event and saying कि ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, and that's why we are seeing all of those things happening. But I'm looking at the overall move of pattern, looking at time, and looking at the behavior of wave theory. And basis of that, I've been explaining you what to do next. Any questions? So if you have anything else, I mean, I'm always here. So right now, this is how it's looking like. And one more thing I want to add on to the chart very, very clearly is that, just a second, let me just open up an Ichimoku cloud. Just one moment, please. I'm going to put across an Ichimoku cloud here. Okay, it's already there. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to apply on an hourly chart, and then on a 15 minutes. So this is an hourly chart. Let's do it on a 15 minutes. How do you think the bear market will sustain for post E compression? Let's first write the E leg. I mean, I'm not going to turn you bearish when there is no sign of it right now. Okay, तो पहले तो ये leg को complete होने देते, उसके बाद बात करेंगे bear market की. Once we have that confirmation. Okay, are you able to see the Ichimoku cloud here? Okay, are you able to see the cloud? Can you see this? The support is precisely at 15 minutes cloud. Exactly at that point of time is where the support is lying. Now you have to do only one thing. कुछ नहीं करना है. You just have to time the turn. Okay, which means that every turn, so try and plot a time cycle or learn the time tool and mark across these turns on the chart in such a way so that you are able to predict when the market is going to turn next. If you are able to do that, you just want to capture on that. Okay, you can simply click on the link above and then a new window will pop up, and from there you can copy paste it. Firdaus, you can just click on the link which is shared across. Okay, can we go to 100%? It can go to 99%. 100% cross nahi hona chahiye. That's the rule. But when will we turn bearish now? We will turn bearish once we see a close on a candle below the prior day low. As simple as that. Only then we will turn bearish. Otherwise, we will not turn bearish. Is it clear? So don't start shorting the market now. Let's just ride this trend on the upside. इसमें चैनल बनाना है. What is the channel suggesting? ये लो connect करना है. Let's just connect here. Okay, I'm going to take a parallel to this on the upside. And this is the classic channel that we are seeing. So on the upside, the resistance of this channel is somewhere around the zone of 17,691. That's the resistance on the upside on the channel. Along with this, keep a watch on the time. Okay, keep a watch on the time, and that is going to be the important level where you can ride the trend. That's how you can ride the trend. So don't, so everyone talk to you not to time the market. I'm telling you to time it if you can. Okay, that is going to change the way you trade the market. Fantastic. So what you have to do is draw this channel, plot the time cycles with us like we have discussed in the mentorship program, plot it like we have discussed in the master of cycles earlier, and then just time your entry basis of an hourly candle. Okay, and that's how you can simply do it. That's how you should be doing it. So यहाँ से strategy क्या बनानी, यहाँ से you just really have to possibly, the way I'm looking at it is the market is bullish and you should use dips as a buying opportunity, and possibly you can sell put options to ride this trend rather than buying call options now. Okay, selling out of the money put option can give you a good deterioration on IVs and good deterioration on theta, and you will be able to make much better money. But ensure you put stop loss in the system, not in the mind. Okay, entry should be on an hourly, and time cycle should be on a 15 minutes. So Mahesh, I'm going to discuss that in much detail. So ये पूरा explain करने के लिए I will have to explain you in much detail how to go about it and those things which we can't do it right now. So guys, I just want to share across my screen. We are also just one second. We are also launching the Master of Cycles program, which is going to be happening on 19th and 20th of Feb. And this is the website. You can simply go to website, click on this link over here, Master of Cycles, or the link is going to be shared across by my colleague over here. You can simply, or let me just share that across. Let me just do that. And that is going to be the way of looking ahead for the markets. I have told you, if you can't time the market to the very hour, you will lose money. That is how it has happened, and that is how it will be. So this Master of Cycle is going to talk a lot about how to time the market. We will talk about GAN time forecasting to an extent. We'll look at Hurst time cycles. We'll project prices looking at time and a lot of those things. So the link which I have shared across will take you to this page. So ये page है, यहाँ पर you can simply go and register yourself. The early bird is also ending on 5th of February, which is just 4 days away. So be ensure you are a part of this Master of Cycles program and be a part of the hashtag time traders. Fantastic. So I'm going to do that, and here is the link which is shared across. Difference between GAN cycle, Hurst cycle, all of those things यार हम करेंगे ना Master of Cycles में थोड़ा उस. So this is going to be a 12-hour session. I'm going to share across my research, my learnings over the years that I have gathered, and I'm going to tell you how it is going to be. Yes, mentorship will be covering the Master of Cycles. So if you are a part of mentorship, you will be a part of Master of Cycles by default. So I'm going to take a very quick poll here, which is about, do we want to be a part of Master of Cycles or mentorship on timing the market, which is also starting by March end. So that's the mentorship on timing the market. So that's a very quick poll I'm taking. And if you have been following me on Twitter, you can check what all things I tweeted in the morning. It has worked out brilliantly. If you have been a part of my Master of Waves, you can clearly see the path working so extremely well. Okay, Mr. Junjunwala is sharing across a quick info. I don't know what is that. Okay. So Narendra, yes, it is going to be a part of that. Any questions? Faster retracement on Dow Jones, Tarun. Let me share that across on the mentorship group. Can you share the chart? We will discuss on the mentorship Telegram group. We will do that, Tarun. So just share the chart. We'll discuss it on the Telegram group which we have, and we are going to do that. And the link I've already shared across. People who are there on YouTube, let me just check that. Just a second. Here is the link which you can simply use in order to register. Thanks, Neha, for sharing it across. And that's the link. Fantastic, guys. Any questions? Okay, I can see a question. what is the date of 55 days time cycle? Let's just check it on the chart. The 55 days time cycle date. I'll post it on my Twitter handle, Girish, and also on my Telegram channel. So I'll just do that. You have bought put of Titan, Tata Steel, and TCS. Prasad, don't do that. I mean, why do you want to do a blunder? Okay, please don't do those kind of trading. It's not going to help. Anyways, okay, so I'm ending the poll very quickly. People who have participated in the poll, ensure you are there. Okay, so I'm ending the poll now. Fantastic, guys. Thank you very much. Love talking to you on a budget day. Markets did exactly what we expected it to do. It was no surprise. It's simply fabulous. And I loved talking to you all. And it's fantastic. We are going to again have amazing session mentorship on Saturday. We are going to have that and be a part of this Master of Cycles program if you want to time the market to the very hour, very minute at times. Okay, that's what we want to do. And stay safe, stay tuned to wavestrategy.com and Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul on YouTube at @Kyal Ashish. Do follow on Twitter and Telegram. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time.